right. So now we are live. Let's hit the intro. Hello and welcome to the Always Sunday Football Podcast. I'm Dave. I'm your host. I'm joined, as I am every week, by Anthony. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm great. I'm here in studio. I'm feeling good.
Feeling good indeed. Looking good.
Oh,
Johnny, how you doing down there in Florida, buddy?
Hot.
Yeah, you're looking hot. Danny, how's it going, bud?
All good.
Thanks for
Doing
joining
well.
us. Thanks for joining us.
Danny.
We have a something of a special episode. We're going to talk a lot of wide receivers. We have a lot of news. We have a lot of cool and fun things to talk about and goings on, right? But before we get to all of that, there's one special news item, John, if I may, to share with the audience. And that, of course, is the creation of a new Dynasty League. So going into this next season, we're going to be adding a little bit of Dynasty talk into our weekly podcast. I'm excited about it. Are you guys excited?
super.
Oh, yeah.
And
psyched.
so the name of the league is the Laces Out Fantasy Football League.
Great name, by the way.
Okay. We have the Finkel division and the Einhorn division. We have 12 teams. Half the league is made up of guys from the Always Sunday Football League. And half the league is made up from the Foot Clan. So if you're not familiar with the Foot Clan is, there's a podcast, a fantasy football podcast that I listen to, and I know Anthony listens to, and I'm not sure if John or Danny listen to it. It's called the Fantasy Footballers. So shout out to Andy, Mike, and Jason and the whole gang over there for helping us create this Dynasty League with 6 new players from the Foot Clan. So we have got our league full. We've got our, little setup. We've got the draft board. It looks good. 27 rounds of drafting coming up. Can't wait to get started. But before we can get started drafting, of course, we have to figure out the drafting order.
Yes.
Right. So I wasn't sure exactly what to do that would be easy and quick because we want to get right into this.
Everybody should have recorded their own 40 time.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of potential error in that idea. So
Anthony ran a 0.2.
Yeah, he ran a 2-second 40. He's Usain Bolt. Anyway, so I know that the fantasy footballers have mentioned this website 100yardrush.com a couple times as far as like choosing a draft order, and it's pretty simple. What it is a website that you can enter in all of the names of the teams in your league. And what they will do is they will have a little computer race, and the order of the little guys that finish is the order of the draft. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Everybody with me?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to win or not. I think I'm going to win.
We got Bobby J in the chat. Hey, Bobby J. Hello and welcome.
OG Bobby Johnson.
OG Bobby Johnson in the chat. Bobby, you're just in time for the excitement. Okay. What we have here are the top 6 people. Like I said, the Red Knights, that's me. Florida Man, that's Johnny. Danny Mac is Danny Mac. Shady Acres, that's Anthony. The Wolverines is Narc. And Beer Muscles is Bobby J, who's in the chat. We've been playing fantasy football together for about 12 years. And the next 6 people, Jedi Modi, Armstrong's Ball, Jay Clavs, Jay Grizz Maulers, Battle Fader, and Search Protector.
You got to protect the search.
Yeah. The search must be protected at all times. These are our Foot Clan members that have joined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next page here, right? And it says you can shuffle. So as you can see right over here, the Red Knights, Florida Man, they're all in order. So I'm going to shuffle it a couple times. Boom. There we go. We're going to move to the next one. Can't do anything here. Move to the next one, leave the settings. Move to the next one. Here we go.
All right.
Good luck. 3, 2, 1. And they're off.
It's on. Oh,
snap. The Laces Out Fantasy Football Draft is currently being ordered up. Jay Clabs jumps out to a huge lead.
He took cocaine before this race.
Wolverine and Jay Grizz are probably the next 2 people in line. Search Protector coming up. Now Jedi Modi making his move. Jay Clavs is just leaving he's losing a little bit of steam, and Wolverines is catching up. Oh, now Wolverines takes the lead.
Oh man.
and look at Shady Acres in last place, Florida Man in last place.
I stopped. I thought
Shady
Daniel
Acres,
Jones.
he looks like he pulled a hammy. He's trying to make it an interesting race. But at the front, Wolverines out in front now. We got Jedi Modi and Surge Protector. Battle Fader, don't forget about him coming up on the bottom there. Jedi Modi takes the lead. J Clavs coming back into the story, coming back into the picture, not to be forgotten about. It's Jedi Modi. It's J Clavs. It's Jedi Modi with the first pick.
Wow.
And now we've got a bunch of guys crossing second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, so J Clavs number 2, Red Knights number 3, Armstrong number 4, Battle Fader Wolverines number 5, Battle Fader number 6, Beer Muscles 7, Surge Protector 8, Jay Grizz 9, Shady Acres 10, 11 is Danny Mac, and 12 Florida Man.
Wow.
So there it is. Once again, Jedi, J Clavs, Red Knights, Armstrong's Ball, Wolverines, Battle Fader, Beer Muscles, Surge Protector, Jay Grizz Maulers, Shady Acres, Danny Mac, Florida Man. Wow, you guys go 10, 11, 12 right in that back corner there. Interesting. So now as soon as we get off this podcast, I'll enter in all that information into the website and we will be off and running. So now the next and most important thing that we need to discuss is the actual draft. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Give me one moment so that I can check and make sure before we get to Johnny, who's just celebrating his little hiney off.
He got the last pick, 2 in a row. He likes that. I like that.
So here we go. I want to just check our poll that was in the chat. And with a score of 7-2, I can call it with 7 votes. That's more than half the league. That's majority.
I agree. Concur.
Thank you for agreeing about that, Math. Math is checking out. Would you prefer a 4-hour draft or an 8-hour draft with overnight pauses, of course? And we have ourselves a 4-hour clock. Gentlemen, 4-hour draft clock starting tomorrow at what time should we start in the morning? Or should we start at 12 noon?
Yeah, noon works.
I think
even earlier.
You guys are going to sleep?
I mean, we're adults.
I think 10 a.m.
I like
it.
10 a.m. works.
Where are other? Isn't there some people?
No, not anymore.
Okay,
not anymore. We have everybody who we have in this league. I'm pretty sure is all in the United States. So
Aaron gives us another homer.
Everybody's on Eastern Standard Time, correct?
I think so.
Maybe.
So. One guy in Austin, Texas. So I don't think that's Eastern time.
Well, no, that's 1 hour.
That's
Yo, what's up, Jake Clavs? Welcome to the league. Thanks for tuning in. I hope I don't know if you missed the. Oh, he got it. He saw it. He's number 2. Okay, so he was watching. Nice. Okay, so Jay Clavs, what do you think? Do you want to start this draft at 10 a.m. tomorrow? What's your vote since you're in the chat? Bobby, what's your vote since you're in the chat?
Let us know what you think, what you're feeling.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? 10, 9, John, Danny, talk to me.
Oh, yes.
10, 9.
I'm all for 10 a.m. tomorrow.
I'm good. Yeah, 10, 9, earlier the better.
I'm working. I'll be drafting while driving. It's fine.
All right. I think
Anthony, please don't get an accident.
Bobby J says 10 a.m. I think that's what we're going to do.
I did trades while driving. It was rough.
I think that's what we're going to do. 10 a.m. works. Okay.
Bam. There it is. It's official, fellas.
That's good enough for me. That's 6 of us, right? That works. Okay, so you heard it here first. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, July 30th. The 4-hour clock starts ticking. And Jedi Modi is on the clock. Interesting. Okay, John. You were very excited about your draft position. Talk to me. What are your thoughts and feelings?
I just love the corner. I've done a couple of mock drafts. Now that I know where I'm drafting, I get a chance to do some mock drafts tomorrow morning just to prepare. I just like those back-to-back picks. It just makes it easier to construct your team, especially when you get into those later rounds. Maybe you're liking a rookie. As everybody will know with kind of like our new following, I'm really into college football, so I'm looking forward to drafting a lot of these young guys, these rookies that are coming into the league. So I'm excited for those back-to-back picks. Dan, how you feeling about somewhat having a back-to-back pick.
Yeah, Danny, you're at 11, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine with it. Not that, don't. It's fine that much. Less and less about where I draft. Where I'm at, I'm like, all right, I accept it, and then I just start thinking about drafting from that position. You know, first 12, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right
I
on.
almost start from
That's a true football guy. That's a true football guy. He doesn't care. Just
through it, the more, and it you know, it's like the more it changes, the more it stays the same type
right
of
on.
thing.
Very good. That's a healthy attitude to take.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yes. Well, that's definitely exciting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back after we're done with this. I'll clip that section of the video and post it inside the chat so everybody can watch it. Doesn't have to, watch the whole video. But I also want to get out of the way at the beginning so that if anybody needed to tune out, they're welcome to tune in.
See how we did it legitimately. you know?
Yeah, it was clear. It was on the up and up. What did I get? The second? No, I get the third pick, I believe.
Third.
See, I'm picking at the beginning of the draft. That's very interesting.
I was honestly hoping I
And then I
saw
have
me.
a
I saw
long
me with
wait.
the cramped leg. I was like, "Yo, finish last.
Third.
I'm cool."
Yeah, you like the end of the draft
I
as
like
well.
the back end. I think a lot of times when you're in those first three, it's almost like real drafts. It's like those key players. If you miss on one of those, right, you make the wrong choice. It really, really affects the whole situation where a couple of those are taken out.
Well, you're freaking me out. You're freaking me out now.
You got this. You're a really good drafter.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not freaked out.
You
I-
got this.
I wish that I had. Oh wait, did I? No.
Johnny's drafting at the number 12 spot.
All right. Yeah. See, I didn't. The one thing I didn't do was write it down, but it's okay. We have it. We already have it recorded, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. It looks like we got a bunch of people watching, which is kind of cool and kind of exciting. If you're watching, drop a note into the chat. Say hello. Thank you for watching. Tune in to our. If you're in the league, later this evening in the chat, I will drop the replay of the race so you can see how it all played out. I will enter in the draft order. I will enter in the draft times, and we will be ready to rock and roll. I'm pretty psyched.
I'm super excited.
Awesome. Hey, John, what's in the news this week?
While John goes.
So we got a lot going on, but because we're focusing on wide receivers right now, I wanted to focus solely right now on the wide receivers. So I have a bold prediction. I want to do a bold prediction because there's some wide receivers that I feel like are going to be a little bit left out of the top 36 that we're going to cover. So out of my top 36, we're going to foreshadow. Nobody in the Buffalo Bills receiving core is in my top 36. And I think that most people would agree with me.
That's a good news item, John.
I do believe that the most consistent one will probably be Khalil Shakir in fantasy, but I predict that the Buffalo Bills will be as frustrating as the 2023 wide receiver room for the Chiefs. That's how frustrating it's going to be. I'm predicting a ton of drops. I have a feeling that Josh Allen's going to be very angry and start just running over people. And this is going to be one of the most frustrating wide receiver rooms with an elite quarterback at its helm. What are your thoughts?
I
could see it.
It could be possible. I think I have more faith in the receivers than you do.
Yeah, I think Coleman's going to be okay. Any rookie's got to start. You got to let them get a couple games under their belt and whatnot. But you got Curtis Samuel over there. Don't forget about that guy. He can catch the ball. I mean, I'm not saying, oh my God, he's an elite. But as you say, John, he's no slouch. He can get some love from a good quarterback. I see him being in Shakir.
See, Danny, I want to get your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills because this is interesting because there's just a ton of guys that you can draft. What are you thinking of fantasy value for the Buffalo Bills wide receiver rooms?
Jedi here.
I like
hey Jedi.
Hammer. Oh, yeah, it's Jedi's here.
What up, Jedi?
Shout out to Jedi. Hello and welcome. He joined late. Does anybody want to tell him what draft pick he has? Number one.
Numero uno.
Jedi here.
Congratulations, Jedi.
The pressure is on you,
Yes, pressure's on. The clock starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow officially, but for you, it starts right now.
Yeah, who are you gonna pick?
For real, for real.
Bobby Johnson says Curtis Samuel.
Probably Shakur or Coleman if I had to pick, but I like the tight end more than any receiver.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the leading.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could see it's interesting
but
that John.
I still like Josh Allen.
It's interesting that John likened them to the Chiefs because they have an elite quarterback and they possibly are going to have a tight end who leads their receiver core. So it could be very similar to the Chiefs.
And then receivers where he
but
throws
you know what?
9 different receivers.
The Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls in the last like 5 years or something. So something
Is that good?
Yeah. So I think that if the Bills could replicate that, I'm sure they'd be very happy. What's your next news item, John?
All right, so training camp. Packers are rotating their wide receivers. It's like musical chairs. I don't like any offensive weapon coming out of the Packers. Like 1 week it could be Jaden Reed, 1 week it could be Christian Watson. Then you have Romeo Dobbs. Then we have Wicks and Luke Musgrave over in tight end. Like who do you draft? Because every time I look at that, so Danny, I know that you're keeping Jordan Love. What's your thoughts on the wide receiver room?
I'm happy I'm keeping Jordan. I mean, I think at the end of the year, assuming relative health for each person, I think Reed will probably have the most points because I think he's the most talented. And guys that kind of produce like he did in year 1 get a bigger role in year 2. But yeah, there's a lot of people to throw to. And like I said, I like Reed the most, but I'm glad I have Jordan Love and I don't have to decide what receiver to take. Because I think the offense will be we'll find out who it's going to be, but I don't know yet.
Are you
Soon Reed out of them.
Without giving away your strategy, are you going to be looking to stack Jordan Love, or are you comfortable just having him and letting the receivers, battle it out?
I mean, if there's a spot that I feel comfortable taking one of the 3 guys or the tight end or somebody, sure. But I'm not overdrafting to, I drafted Jordan Love for rushing touchdowns. I'm not going to overdraft him to,
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to overdraft a receiver just to play with it. He's not like that kind of guy. There's not like that obvious, but some other guys, like, all right, you keep Burrow or whatever, the incentive to draft Chase. If he's there, that's not really like Jordan Love doesn't have that.
No, but with where they're all going, you could legitimately get, 2 choices.
And I could get a
shot at it. Where
but I could draft the wrong one around early.
Or 4.
Well, I mean, you got. I think the most talented of them all is Christian Watson.
Agreed.
But
I agree.
You're not. Health has been an issue, so you have to factor that into play. But
yeah,
they're all pretty good receivers. Dontavian Wicks is solid as well, so you can't go wrong. And with where they're going, he could legitimately draft. Like Dave even just said more, but you can shot at 2 out of the 4 that you feel 5.
John, what's your next news item?
Yeah, actually, this is a news item that I like to break. So, because most people probably didn't catch this, I switched my keeper.
That's NFL news.
Oh my god! I haven't.
So I want to tie this into. All right. So there's a reason why I'm saying that.
Thank you. Thanks for that, John. Oh my god, I haven't laughed like that in a really long time. Breaking news: I switched my keeper. John, you're fair and balanced, straight down the middle, just like always. But anyway, yeah. So talk about it.
So I'm more and more coming out of training camp liking this kid Josh Downs a lot more. So I really think that this passing offense is going to be quite amazing. I don't know. I'm really high hopes on this Colts offense. There's a reason why I chose him over. Bobby J just said he spit out his beer laughing.
I believe it.
But yeah, so I'm gonna say I'm really high on this. I don't know. So there was a really interesting thing that Danny Mac said the last time around. He ranked Jonathan Taylor super high this year. So
He had him
I'm
number
really
2
more
overall.
high. Yeah, he had him number 2 overall. So I'm a little bit more high on the receivers this year. I think Anthony Richardson could support Michael Pittman and maybe a second receiver. In my opinion, I think that this is the year that if healthy, you're going to see how great the offense is going to be for the Colts. On the second hand, I do think that Anthony Richardson is probably going to take away a lot of rushing touchdowns from a Jonathan Taylor. Maybe gets his 1,000-yard rushing, but maybe doesn't get the touchdowns that he needs because Anthony Richardson is just straight up vulturing him. So I just wanted to know, like, Danny, like, what your thoughts were with Jonathan Taylor in that offense. Like, are you thinking that it's going to be a lot of PPR? Like, what's your thoughts on, like, Jonathan Taylor?
Overall usage, I think that running attack's going to be based off of the rush. It's going to be Richardson and Taylor, and then they'll throw some off of that. But no, they didn't really invest in another running back, so they do plan on giving him like a Colt-like workload. There's not a lot of teams that offer that, and I just think the talent's there. I think he's just as talented as any back not named McCaffrey.
Yes.
I think they'll throw him the ball. I think Richardson will have some rushing touchdowns, but it's not like they're going to Jalen Hurts and the guy gets hurt every other game. They're not going to send him over a pile every time they get close.
Bobby J has thoughts on this too. Bobby, type them in. Let's hear it, or let's see it. Whatever.
Well, I don't know about the Jonathan Taylor part, but with your news of you switching your keeper, I see you had the choice of C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson, and it was C.J. Stroud originally, which is the safer floor. He's a great pocket passer, and you're switching for ceiling. Anthony Richardson. We only got a sample size. What was it? 4 games.
4 or 5.
Yeah. So from what you saw, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But the health is the issue. But you're taking the rushing upside where C.J. Stroud is a pocket passer. He's going to rush. So I understand.
Yeah, he's got the higher ceiling, and that's
what you're going for.
Yep. That's you gotta take big hits, big swings to get big hits. All right.
So I'm with you there, John. I am not. There's not a negative statement I could say about that switch.
What's your next news item? I hope it's a good one.
All right, so I know you guys in the past I've talked up this kid Javon Baker, and I was a little bit more low on Jalen Polk, but
sure,
Jalen Polk in camp right now is getting first team starter reps in camp. Right now, he is arguably the best receiver after Demario Douglas went down with an injury. I think he's been out with a calf injury or something. And Jalen Polk is a guy that I think his draft stock is going to go up. I could see this guy. I wasn't as high as him when they drafted him. I was like, I don't know why they're drafting him, but the kid's making noise in camp. He has it seems like he has good rapport with both quarterbacks. I think this kid could be a very, very sneaky pick and possibly someone's keeper next year. So in one of our leagues. So that's some news. That's a little bit more of I'm a little changing my thoughts on a guy. I know that there's the receivers over there are hurt, but this kid Jalen Polk is really making noise as a rookie. And watch out for that in New England.
Yeah. I've heard the same thing, that he's looking like he could potentially end up being the de facto number 1 in that offense. Now, how good that passing offense is going to be, how much opportunity is he going to have to actually score touchdowns? Those are the bigger questions, but he's going to have just as much opportunity or more than any other rookie, and then that's including Marvin Harrison, except, like I said, the quality of the actual offense that he's in, the quarterback and everything else. Jacoby Brissett's not a bad player.
The quality of the attempt.
Of the
pass attempt.
The pass attempt. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, quality targets. Not just targets, but quality targets. Right. But yeah, I could easily see him leading the team in targets if he stays healthy.
So at a dynasty standpoint, I could moving up there.
He's got value. What else you got, John?
All right, so another sleeper guy, coming back a little bit to fantasy relevancy in training camp. Wide receiver room for the Atlanta Falcons. Your boy Darnell Mooney. We haven't heard his name in a while, and he's
Okay.
been making noise in camp. Of the last report that I read, he had a team high of 5 targets, and I expect him to be in the slot. Don't be surprised. I mean, we always talk about Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson, and these guys are definitely going to be. But watch out for Darnell Mooney. I'm potentially going to say he's going to probably be a little bit of a poor man's Chris Godwin and have some value later down the road, and maybe be a flex option for somebody in some of those weeks that injuries start piling up. Look for Darnell Mooney.
Danny, you got anything on Darnell Mooney?
If they're, I mean, they could be pretty good. I could see him as like a bench piece and a borderline flex play. I mean, if he grabs the number 2 spot and runs with it, Cousins tends to throw pretty concentrated. So
I think
I mean, who knows if it's Minnesota or him? But
By noise, do you mean like ah?
he's gonna be like and like moving around. And
by noise, do you mean when he plays, he's like the Serena
making
Williams
noise.
of football?
His pads squeak.
He's like ah, yeah.
I
mean, I could see it because Kirk Cousins, could support multiple receivers.
Well, here's the thing: he's never going to be more than the 3rd option on that team. Period, or maybe 4th option, really, if you're counting Bijan. So he's got another. He's talk about another guy with a ceiling. Darnell Mooney's got a ceiling. He's not going to win you weeks. He can probably start in your lineup on bye weeks, but I don't see him winning you too many weeks. Bobby J checking in about the Anthony Richardson versus CJ Stroud. He's going with Stroud all day with that loaded offense. So we got 1 for Stroud and 1 for Richardson. So we'll get, I guess, BJ and Johnny are once again foes. They're head to head, and we'll find out. Find out at the end of the season who was right. John, what's your next news item?
All right, this is going to get Anthony a little upset. But Quentin Johnson is now working with the 2nd team and playing behind DJ Chark. Not what you want, Anthony. So what's going on with your boy, Quentin Johnson?
First of all, I thought you were going like New York when you were going to say I'm not going to like it. I couldn't give a shit about Quentin Johnson.
No. Hold on. He was a little
the Charger
because he's
Anthony
a Charger, but no.
The Chargers are Giants West.
No.
Now we're in denial, Anthony. That breakup really hurt you.
I mean, wasn't there? I saw a tweet or something that didn't like Harbaugh say that like he thinks Johnson's like.
There was a tweet where he talked him up, and then John just gave you the news that he is now running with the 2nd team.
He's just making
coaches do that all the time. They're like, "Oh yeah, we have ultimate confidence in this guy," and then like a day later he gets cut.
They're just moving him around, just working up some 2nd teams up, and then
they're trying to light a fire under his can.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you gotta do what you gotta do.
John, what do you get? What else you got?
Oh, this is the news that's gonna piss me off. So I hate to say this, but I can't stand this guy. So Saints running backs. I'm going to right now. Training camp does not look good with any of these running backs. Currently, right now, Keandre Miller, hamstring, now back in the doghouse somehow, and then Alvin Kamara is looking for a new contract at 29 years old, and this offensive line is dog shit. So let me ask you this question, Dennis Allen, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's just a matter of time this guy gets fired. Like, it's not even preseason, and the guy is already being a jerk. I can't stand the guy. I can't stand him.
For some context here, for you, if you're watching this and this is your first time seeing John rant about a coach, each year, John picks. It's for the last, I think, year or two. It was maybe 2 years. It was Brandon Staley, but for the Chargers, but he finally got fired. So now John has to hate a new coach. And the new coach that John hates now is Dennis Allen. So this is going to be a season full of anti-Dennis Allen content from John. Yeah. There's going to be plenty of vitriol, plenty of venom. John, what is the thing that bothers you the most about Dennis Allen?
He's just a terrible coach. He can't coach. He can't coach. I mean, when was the last time this guy has had a winning record? Like, please explain that to me. How does this guy? You go from Sean Payton to Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen. I mean, what are we talking about here? He's terrible. He's awful.
Peyton picked Dennis Allen though. He got him the job.
I don't think how. This guy cannot win. He can't win. He cannot win. It's just amazing. Like, this guy's awful. He has Derek Carr, mediocre. Like, it's just everything about the guy is mediocre. It's just amazing. Like, you're in a bad division. You can't keep it together. You don't know. You're playing musical quarterbacks with Taysom Hill and Derek Carr. Michael Thomas, like this whole situation. I mean, poor Chris Olave. Look, whoever drafts Chris Olave, which will most likely be one of you guys, I feel sorry for you because Dennis Allen is going to piss you off. Anybody that drafts Chris Olave, God bless your soul, because Dennis Allen is going to be your worst enemy all season long. I'm staying away from any Saint this year.
So you think it's gonna Olave is gonna be equivalent or worse than last year? I'm assumingly worse.
I'm not gonna say Olave is gonna be like awful. Like, obviously he's gonna be a first round pick. He's amazing. I mean, the team has to. I'm not saying that they're just not going to score any points all week, but he's going to be frustrating to own because Dennis Allen is his head coach. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's just there's not going to be any consistency. This team's going to lose bad games and then win games, and this whole thing. I can't stand the guy. He can't coach, and he's going to ruin Chris Olave. Dude, if you ever listen to this podcast, please request a trade because the guy ain't going to make you a champion.
And that's a special message out there to Chris Olave from John in Florida. There you go. So Chris Olave, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, Danny.
What up?
Let's talk some receivers. What do you think? You want to rank some goddamn
receivers? Let's start it off. And just for a point of reference for the people that are tuning in that we just did the draft for, these rankings are for redraft PPR.
Yes.
They're not dynasty rankings. Feel free to use them as dynasty rankings. I encourage you to do so, but they are not.
Yes.
So, point of reference. PPR redraft rankings.
I give you a PPR.
With that, number one,
there's going to be contention right from the start. You got CeeDee Lamb? Sorry, I talked over you there.
No, you're good. You want me to do like top, what, 3?
Well, I just like to know. What I mean, just
everybody's one assumingly should be the same.
Do you think so? You have CeeDee Lamb at 1 also? John, who do you have at 1?
I have CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, okay. So do I.
Okay. Number 2, I'll do the top. I'll do my top 5. Well, I already did 1, so I'll do 2 through 5. Tyreek, JJ, Jamari, St. Brown.
JJ. Okay.
I have mine a little different.
So do I. This is going to be ridiculous.
That's all very much the same. It's all very much the same tier.
Yeah.
So you got Hill, you had JJ, you had what and what? Chase, then St. Brown? Okay, Anthony, you said you had something a little different.
Yeah, I have Lamb, Chase, Hill, St. Brown, Jefferson.
Okay, it's the same 4 different orders.
Yeah.
Yes. John, where are you? What's your top 5?
I got the same 5, it just in a little bit of a different order. So mine's CD, Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra.
Okay, so pretty close.
Yeah, see, I have it Hill, Chase, St. Brown, Justin Jefferson.
So we all the same top 5, and that to me that would be like the top tier.
Cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and
You can move whatever you want around. They're pretty. I mean,
make a
that's
little
how I
tier.
have them. They're all pretty similar.
Okay, who begins your next tier, Danny?
AJ.
That's right. I agree. What do you have? AJ Brown, John?
I have Garrett Wilson.
I have
Interesting.
him 7. I have him 7 for what it's worth.
I also do. I have him right next also. So I'm gonna go AJ B.
This
Wilson.
is where it gets a little interesting.
Okay, now I agree. I agree. Anthony, what do you got?
I have John's boy, a little bit of my boy, Devontae Adams.
Interesting. Okay, I have one guy ahead of Adams. Danny, where are you?
I have a guy ahead of Adams.
But you have Adams.
I
He
have
has
2
Adams
guys.
9,
I have 2 guys ahead of Adams.
so you have
Interesting,
Adams
interesting.
10.
I have
John.
Adams 10 as well.
Yeah.
I have
Been in the top 10 since 2017.
I have Puka.
I have Puka and then Harrison.
I have
have,
I have Puka 9, but I wouldn't be mad if it went Adams Puka. It's up, you know.
I have Puka. I have Puka and Olave, and then Adams.
I have Harrison, Adams, Olave.
So you have Harrison next.
Yeah, I have Garrett Wilson, then Puka, then Harrison, then Adams, and Olave. But I'm fine with Adams being higher.
Anthony, what do you have?
At what number starting? 'Cause I have Adams 8, Puka 9, Mike Evans 10, Drake London 11, Marvin Harrison Jr. 12,
Where do you have Olave?
13.
Okay. See, I have like those guys. I have Olave next after Adams.
All right.
Okay.
Then Harrison.
Well, here's the thing about Harrison. Where you didn't mention Harrison in your just list that you just said.
I have him at 12.
You
I
do
did.
have- John, where do you have Harrison?
18.
Yep. I have Harrison. Hold on a second. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, John, you have him at 18. I have him at 19. Which
All
is,
right, so we can wait on him.
yeah.
So then I have Adams, Olave, London, Pittman, Ayuk.
You mentioned London, right?
He's my 11.
John, where's your London?
London's 11.
So if you skip Harrison for me, then Olave's my 13. Then I have DK, Ayuk.
Oh,
For
Bobby's
what
saying Amon-Ra's number 1. Ooh, foreshadowing our draft.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I'll take CD off you. Thanks.
Johnny Slave had 87 catches. Who the hell is that?
Pittman?
Johnny.
No, he said Olave. He means Olave.
Olave finished.
Oh, okay.
Olave finished wide receiver 16 last year.
All right, so now let's just kind of regain our bearings here. AJ Brown, Wilson, Puka, Adams, Olave, London. Who goes next? Who comes next?
Pittman.
Pittman.
I have.
Pittman further down.
I have Mike Evans.
I have Mike Evans.
I already have.
I
him.
have Evans at 16, but I'm fine with him there.
Yeah, he was my 10. He's had 9 years of 1,000 yards receiving and 4 double-digit touchdown seasons.
Yeah,
That's
every year of
insane.
his career has been 1,000 yards.
And almost 50% of them have been
Hall of Famer.
double-digit. That's amazing.
Hall of Famer.
I think this is the last
Oh,
one.
definitely Hall of Famer.
I think he hits one more year of 1,000 and then just falls off a cliff. Sorry,
Really?
like not physically.
See, I don't think that that's true because he's a big receiver. There's a history of big receivers aging well because his game is not predicated on like huge speed. It's it's super fast, lightning quick speed. He just separates and he wins, at the contest point, at the catch point. I remember like Brandon Marshall played for a really long time and he was badass and guys like that. Like I think Evans's game will mature nicely and he'll as long as he stays healthy, of course. and he'll be effective. Okay, so after Evans, who comes after that? Danny, who you got?
Pittman, Ayuk, Waddle, that combination.
Okay, so I have Ayuk and Waddle a little further down. I have Cup. Did somebody bring up Cup earlier?
I have him at 20.
20. Wow. Where do you have him?
I have him at 20, 21.
Jesus. All right, I'm way high on Cup. Then forget about that.
I
Okay,
have
so you guys have.
I have Cup at 15.
Okay, so that's
So
close.
after Olave, I have DK, Ayuk, Debo, Pittman.
So what about Ayuk? Because you guys all seem to have. I have Ayuk a little bit.
I have him at 4. I have him at 14 and Pittman 13. I have Debo at 21, DK at 22.
Ayuk. You guys good with Pittman here?
I have him at 17, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I have Ayuk and Debo pretty close together, but doesn't.
Everybody okay with that, Debo?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see how many we have here so far. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Luis wants to talk about the first pick. Well, you're gonna have to wait, Luis.
What is
So we have 16 up.
Wait, hold on a second. What just happened?
No, we're at 15.
I must have clicked that by accident.
Yeah, 15.
Did you say something about Luis? Oh, there we
Yeah,
go. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right, how
Luis
about we-
wants to talk about the first pick.
about-
We already know what you're gonna do. You're gonna pick CMC. End of
Yeah,
story.
Luis.
We
Luis,
put Harrison next.
Harrison?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Luis, go ahead and talk about
Whatever you want to talk about.
the
AJ.
first pick, and we'll read it and we'll discuss.
Now we're No, we're not. 2 more and we're halfway.
Yeah, roughly. That was number 16. So we're
Yeah.
good.
We're 36.
Okay, so guys that I have on my list in this area, in this range. Like I said, I'm higher on Cup than you guys are apparently,
But I'm fine with
but he's
him.
coming up. Nico,
Yeah, I know.
Devontae, and Waddle are my next guys.
I have
Waddle, Nico, and DJ.
So my after Pittman, where my 18 is Nico, because we mentioned most of these names. So I have Nico, Devontae, DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs.
Where's Waddle for you?
27.
John, who do you have?
Jeez. All right, so I'm gonna go 13 to 20 for me.
Sure.
I'm gonna do Debo at 13, Ayuk 14, Cup at 15, DK 16, Jalen Waddle 17, Harris 18, Diggs 19, 20th Amari Cooper.
Oh, he's higher. I mean, I'm not far off of 20.
Yeah, I have.
Hold on.
Yeah, I would go Waddle Collins as the next 2.
Waddle,
Unless
Collins.
yeah, I mean except for no, Johnny was low.
Anthony's got
Right.
Waddle pretty far, and so does John. John has him down a little bit further as well.
Oh, does he?
But what
Okay.
about Nico? John was up.
Nico definitely.
Nico's 28 for me because there's a lot of people in that offense, man. Like
Yeah, I know how to Diggs.
Oh, you have Diggs above him.
Yeah, I have Diggs
Diggs above him.
I have Diggs at 23.
Danny, you have Diggs above Nico also?
No, I have Nico at 17, Diggs at 23.
That's funny. I have Nico at 18, Diggs at 22.
I wish I numbered my guys. I didn't put numbers next to them.
I
so
just started counting and did 15, 20, 25 down the side to give me a reference.
Yeah, see, I didn't do it.
I was in the same boat.
So people we've named that are available to do here is
Nico.
DK, Nico, Devontae, DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs. Is there anybody else?
Amari Cooper
Yeah.
and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I have Cooper. I have Cooper 19.
Amari or Kupp?
Amari, and then I have Cup at 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cooper back.
So you can throw your Kupp
All
in here because
so
you're.
I'm higher on Cup. We'll throw Cup in. We'll throw Nico in.
And then Waddle.
DJ Moore and Waddle and DK.
DK, DJ Moore, Waddle. What about Devontae Smith?
I have him 19.
Okay, so let's talk about these guys now. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Pittman. I was so much lower on Pittman than you guys. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore. Who do you rank highest of that list of people?
All right, I have
Did you say Nico?
Waddle 15, DJ 18, Armani Cooper 19, DK 22.
Who do you have highest of that group?
You mentioned DK in that group.
Mhm.
So DK is the highest, and then Devontae, then DJ. Who else?
Oh, Devontae Smith is one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's at the back after DK.
Oh, wow. Okay. John, what about you?
I like Waddle. I'm a Waddle
What about
guy.
your ranks, though? He's your highest ranked guy?
No. When it's gonna be Waddle, DK, then Amari Cooper, then Devontae Smith.
Oh, yeah, I have Cooper 24.
I have Devontae Smith 24 after Diggs at 23.
So DK, Cooper, DJ Moore. So you're throwing Waddle.
Waddle.
Yeah, DK. Oh, you already did DK. DJ. Yeah.
Okay.
DJ.
So who's the highest ranked player you don't have on there? For me, it's Diggs at 23.
Okay, so right now again, we're about to put the 24th person here. You're saying the only person that we don't have in your top 24, Danny, is Stephon Diggs.
I have
Correct.
Smith at 24 and Diggs at 23. Yeah.
John, who made your top 24 that we didn't have listed yet?
Diggs. That's the only one so far.
Anthony?
Top 24.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cooper's my 24. So I have
Who didn't we mention?
Diggs and Neighbors.
So it's Diggs.
Diggs and Neighbors. Yeah, Diggs and Neighbors. Yep.
See, I had
Neighbors.
Go ahead.
I have Neighbors at 25 for what it's worth.
Okay, see, I had him at 24, so we'll put Neighbors next.
Yeah, it's 23 for me. And then for while we're there, Cooper's my 24. So then I have the next. I'll name the next four. I have T. Higgins, George Pickens, Waddle, and then Christian Kirk.
Okay, I had T. Higgins next.
I have T. Higgins too.
Okay.
I had Kirk, but I had Higgins right after that.
I have Higgins, then Kirk.
You had
And then I had
not-
Pickens.
Then I have Chris Godwin, then George Pickens.
Pickens was one of the ones I had as well.
By the way, according to training camp, Godwin is finally going back to the slot, so
Yeah.
expects a big, old Chris Godwin is back, where they're not using him like an idiot sometimes.
So speaking of using him like an idiot, Luis doesn't like CMC.
Of course he does.
Doesn't like CMC. So
Okay.
I don't know if he's still watching. Luis, what are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do about that? Like what could you possibly do?
Because there's two things I'm going to guess.
Go ahead.
One is he's thinking he's playing mind games, and he's going to go Barkley like he said.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen. Go ahead.
That's a wide left option. Other one is just instead of everybody just go this the CMC, and then it's like, oh, this is the year he's going to get hurt. If that's receiver, then maybe he goes receiver. So Lamb or Hill would be my guess.
So you're guessing either he's trying to fake everybody out and go Barkley, or he's just gonna pick a receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. But he doesn't like CeeDee Lamb either, though. He says CeeDee Lamb
he might get his boy back. He traded him away last year.
he might
Nice.
just draft Tyreek Hill at 1. Maybe. Luis, what are your thoughts?
I vote that he's going to draft Tyreek Hill.
What's the over on the him draft?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, can we do like a bet on like what he's gonna draft, like,
Minus-
and then not tell him what it is?
All right, so we named 3 Higgins, Kirk.
Okay, so you guys, Danny, where do you have Pickens in this range as well?
Yeah, I have Pickens as next guy.
Okay, Pickens.
Okay, I had him a little bit lower, but I'm okay with it. And then where is Godwin next for you guys as well, or just Johnny?
Godwin is 29 for me. So
Close enough.
I got before that. I have Tank Dell and Rashee Rice.
I have Tank Dell too.
they didn't make my cut.
They weren't on your list.
Tank Dell did not make the cut neither.
Really
I think he's too flimsy, and Diggs is gonna take over his.
interesting.
See, I have Dell, and then Godwin.
He finished as wide receiver 39 last year. Just
He missed half the games.
yeah.
Okay, so I put Godwin on the list. So if you don't have Dell and you don't have Rice in your lists, guys, who do you have?
Keenan Allen, Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I have Zay Flowers up here,
I have Zay Flowers
and
close.
Clay,
I have Zay. I have
and
Zay as
Keenan
well.
Allen. They both made my list.
Who did you say, Danny?
I have Flowers and Keenan Allen both made my list.
John, do you have Keenan Allen on your list?
I do not have Keenan Allen on my list.
Oh boy.
The only reason Rice didn't make my list is we're presuming that it's going to take place next year. Actually, right? All this.
Well, the closer it gets to the season, the less likely he's going to be suspended.
Rice is on the list. No, I left Rice off for that reason. I wasn't sure what was going on, but he's
Yeah.
like
I put
up
him.
there.
I put
How
him
about
as-
how about Scary Terry?
Yeah, I have him up there. He snuck in the back end.
While Dave's typing, John, Luis in the comments message, he wants to know what would you do at 1?
Oh,
Everyone would take CMC.
Christian McCaffrey.
John,
Everyone.
what would you do at 1? I would get CMC. Easy. It's an easy pick, buddy.
Yeah, it's the easiest pick in the entire draft.
Does anybody else have Deontay Johnson on their top 36?
I do.
He's
All
number-
right.
He's made the cut. So I named Keenan Allen, Calvin Ridley, Zay Flowers, Jordan.
Yeah, I
Reed.
have Keenan Allen. I have
Reed
So
made my.
I'm going to
Scary
say it's one of the receiver. I think it's one of the receivers for Tennessee. Do you like DeAndre Hopkins or
Mhm.
Calvin Ridley? Like that's where it gets a little. Ugh.
I mean, I prefer Ridley, but I would rather take I have Jalen Reed at 36.
I had Watson. I went the way you went, Danny, with the
Uh-huh.
Packers receiver.
So just write Packers receiver in his spot.
Yeah,
Well, it's either Packers receiver or
I would have had Watson in my top 40 though. He would have been like literally a spot or two behind him.
yeah.
I just think Reed's safer because they'll give him rushes, and they'll work him into the offense.
I had Watson at 36, and I had Reed at 37.
Yeah, I would have had Watson probably 37, 38. I'd Reed at 36.
So
And
let's-
Tank Dell at 30. And then I had, I don't know, did I miss anybody?
So
Who else? Anybody have anybody on there that we missed?
I mean, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed. Which do you have either one of those guys on your list?
Reed, I have Reed.
John, what about you?
He falls right outside of my top 36.
Both of them?
No, actually, Watson makes my 36th. Like
So he's
exactly.
on my 36 also.
Okay. So
So
we
you want-
two of us
Just
have
Reed.
Reed at 36 and two of us have Watson at 36.
Yeah. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
Did
so
you put Scary Terry on there? Yeah.
He's on there.
Scary Terry's
So
on
the only
there.
person- Where do you guys have? Did Ridley make your list?
As a
Honorary
honorable
mention?
Yeah.
Anybody? You guys did Ridley?
I
make-
had
Honorable.
DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley at 32, 33 for me. I'm actually a little more high on both of them.
I had Ridley at 35 but I'm fine with putting Watson and Reed up one and then moving Watson up one. But I'm fine with adding Ridley. Who else do you guys have on the list that's not up there?
We named all.
I had two guys that
Who?
I mean, obviously I have Rasheed Rice, which you guys didn't have. I had
He would make my cut. I just didn't because I was like, he's gonna miss a couple games.
I mean, so far nothing, right? Haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Ridley and Hopkins, obviously, but then I also put Lad McConkey as an honorable mention.
Cortland Sutton.
He could lead that team in targets. I just don't know if it's gonna be a lot of targets, but at the same time,
Sutton's going to be like a useful depth piece. Like somebody's like, they're going to have to play him every week, and he's going to like do just enough where he puts. I think he's going to have a decent year, but like not obviously huge.
I had an honorable mention that I was trying to squeeze in. Was JSN. I have a little feels about him. I mean, 'cause they always could support two good receivers and Lockett really falling off, and he can,
that's the key to it is whether Lockett still vacuums up as many targets as he has been, because he's the guy who really saps. If Lockett was like completely lessened or out of the picture, both DK and JSN would skyrocket because they would get just so many more targets. Split up those targets between those two guys. That would be awesome. So I think we did a pretty good job, fellas.
No,
yeah. I'm impressed by how much overlay we had. I like a lot of the differences. Even if you had guys 4 or 5 spots difference, it's still pretty much the same here.
I mean, if we went,
same top 5.
Yeah, we went through most of our picks, and for the most part, if we went by groups of 5, we were.
I think we all had the same top 6 because I think everybody had ABJ 6.
Yeah,
I think Waddle.
Right.
I think Waddle was the most, and Cup were the most ones out of everybody that were kind of different. But for the most part,
Collins. But yeah,
Waddle, Cup, Marv. I mean, I had Marv way down. You guys have him pretty far down because he could have a really good rookie season and still just have like a okay.
Yeah, but for me, once you get past Nuka at 8, it's like teardrop off. And like flip there, like all the way down to like pretty much low 20s. I could see any of those guys.
Yeah.
So when I did my list, I wrote my list down, and then I was like, for fun, I'm gonna look up last year's on Fantasy Pros, I think it was, of the position of everybody who finished last year, just in case we wanted a reference. So a few names that aren't on the list that were in the top 36
from last year. Okay, go ahead.
Romeo Dobbs, 36. Tyler Lockett, 32. Rashi Rice was 27, but he was mentioned. Jacoby Myers, 24.
Yeah, he had he was on fire to start the season last year.
Jordan Addison, 23, because Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, he had a great little stretch run there.
He would have been an honorable man. He would have been close for me.
But he was 23, but Justin Jefferson finished 33 because he missed some games.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, 22.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Thielen, 17.
Yeah, he started the season super hot.
Yeah,
Deontay Johnson role there, and Deontay's better at this point.
Yeah, Deontay's going to get a ton of targets.
And apparently him and Bryce Young look pretty good together, but Deontay Johnson will make a lot of people look good.
And
it's true.
The biggest jump back from last year to this year is Diggs. Last year he finished 9th, and we all have him in like 20,
early 20s, late teens. Yeah.
I mean, Justin Jefferson doesn't count. Garrett Wilson is a jump, but that's because presuming Roger, he finished 26th last year with a quarterback that any of us could have filled in for.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that was good.
And Jalen Waddle, what position did he finish last year, if you were to guess?
18, 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 19.
I'm gonna go 15.
34.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, he missed a bunch of games.
I couldn't figure out the game. Yes, Yankees won.
Yes. Yeah.
Judge homer, 2 homers for Jazz. Sorry. I guess.
It's a cross platform.
Nice. We're hitting you with the updates, all the updates.
They're a little excited in Yankee land. Tell them, Johnny.
Yeah, I was watching the game while we were doing a podcast. Yeah, it was an amazing
Likewise.
game. We beat.
Mhm.
So
You see Bobby J's comment.
Bobby J's comment: if he takes Hill, it's an Einstein theory of insanity in action. Yeah, Luis, if you're still on, we're about to end the show, but if you're still on, maybe try and explain to us your thought process with the number one pick. Like, what is it that you're thinking? How are you breaking it down? What's going through your mind right now? We only have, what is it? Less than a month.
Yeah, 28 days.
28 days, and counting.
Yeah,
Before,
so what are you thinking? Are you thinking at all?
right?
Are you just gonna just wing it that day? Like, it's draft day.
I think that's what he's gonna do.
I'm just gonna be like, man, this one.
Yeah, he's gonna do
one of these?
Right.
Anthony, just don't have him sit next to me. That's the
Is
only
he?
thing I
Is he?
request.
Yeah.
Is he coming?
He'll be there. He should be there.
You're gonna be
He
there?
said he's gonna be there.
You said it.
Yeah.
We're in the street.
We might have actually like 80% of our people showing up to the draft. I think only like 2 people are definite no's, because you said what, Will might not make it, and then Taylor, but everybody else said they might come.
Yeah, it seems like we might have a bunch of dudes, so you better have that place ready to go.
Yeah. Sausage fest. Be ready.
Lots of sausage. Don't burn the sausage.
All right. Since last year, I've gotten a new table.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a new TV stand.
Cool.
Same old couch though. That's the problem.
Oh well,
but a couch cover.
Fair enough. Well, you're never getting that couch out of there.
I got to break it down.
Yeah. Get it out. Yeah.
I'll second that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Always a pleasure. I think that if we get a chance, we'll do one more episode
Quarterbacks and tight ends.
For quarterbacks and tight ends. Exactly.
What would you do? Top 12?
Yeah.
We'll do top 12 for both quarterback and top 12 tight ends. Exactly. And again, it'll be, as Danny mentioned, it would be PPR redraft.
Yeah.
Obviously. But that'll be next time, where it's nice.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.